Please fasten your seatbelts.
I had 11 Olympians and over 800 national champs. And all those men, they wouldn't do half the work that she do. And I'm seeing it from the young ladies. These last 2 years, when you think about it, all the good fights is coming from the women. The guys is ducking each other, looking for the easy way. I'm telling you like it is, you know? So again, you know, this young lady done did everything I asked her, and she did more. And I'm watching all the young ladies that's boxing now. It's like they trying to prove they better than men. Now, we knew they was kind of there, but now they showing that they mean. You know, in the old days in Philly, we call these guys crazy. And that's the way these women are. So when you go back home, speak nice to your...
Welcome to BodyWork.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWork Boxing. It's Free Smoke Friday. It's free smoke. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna buy some time. I'm gonna go over some boxing points, man, and I'm really gonna just, talk some boxing, man, and hopefully, somebody may show up to come get this work. Because people love to just talk online, man. People just chatting online, man. I'm like, make a point. So today, it's a troll trolling one of my comments. I'm like, man, y'all must want some attention or something, man. I'm like, they were trolling me about Tio, ragging on him for fighting Pedraza, I guess. So I was thinking, I'm like, man, look, the dude is back in good spirits, man. Everybody want to act like, see, this is that new generation where what you did yesterday, it don't count for shit. I know we in a what have you done for me lately era. I do know that. But man, boxing fans just pick something that they just want to argue with, man. And it's like, man, you got all that energy, but you ain't got shit to say. You don't got shit to talk about. I was like, who was calling for a TO at 140? Who was calling for him? I mean, that dude Barbosa. So somebody come up and they say Barbosa. If they say Barbosa, I'll give them full credit and say, yep, we probably could afford him if that opportunity was available. But I'm like, when you move up, you do have an equalizer as far as power, because I mean, people were starting to forget that the man had power as well. But You got the equalizer and the power, but then you got an impressive resume. Even though you don't have as many fights as a lot of the other people, but for the amount of fights that he has an impressive resume. You gotta think, he had all of the belts except for the one that Devin Haney had got sent at the time. At one point in time, T.O. had that. He lost all of that and moved up a weight class. And people are complaining about who he's fighting. This is his second fight up there. So I wonder what that energy gonna be like when Shakur announced his first fight, his next fight, because Shakur fans, they already out here explaining why Cruz don't matter or why he don't count or why that shouldn't go down. I'm like, are we boxing fans or not? Like, are we boxing fans? I've been seeing people justify why Bud did what he did and why we not getting a fight, and they become lawyers and all this detailed stuff, and they are happy that we're not getting those fights. They're happy to tell us why we can't get these fights. This is a different day. The marketplace for how we watch and view boxing and how we consume boxing is different. The people who create the narratives are money driven. They have double standards. They can never stick to the same sheet of music. There is no code in this game. Everything is about money. If you get into the bag, that's going to forgive all the evils until they don't like you no more, or until you say something that they don't like. That's the kind of world we live in. We live in a world where these Monday morning quarterback ass people who call boxing will wait until after the fact to admit some shit that they knew all along. All along. Man, I saw a discussion about the Devin Haney and Lomachenko topic the other day on a major channel. I was flabbergasted at what I heard. I'm telling you, man, people change like the seasons, man. And I guess, we're in fall, getting ready to go into winter. We just experienced daylight saving time. And people are changing. Opinions are changing. Fans are actually changing. I know, because if I do a video with a certain name, it's all about social media popularity. That's why I don't even do that many videos about it no more. It's all about social media popularity now. You got Bud saying that YouTubers are impacting YouTubers are impacting whatever. Like, yeah. But why people act like that all along the lines? Like when it was co-signing this and co-signing that and co-signing this and giving all these passes for everything that goes on in certain boxers' career, where you just co-sign and you check it off and you say, yeah, that's okay, and you say yes. I'm a yes man, and you're with it. You ride with it. You never check it. But then if Bud come out and say YouTubers, blah, 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 then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, because we do this. But what about all of the co-signing of all of the bullshit that be going on that nobody ever says anything about? Nobody says nothing about it. The latest thing was, with the Wilder thing, everybody was like, I was the only one saying, oh man, is Malik Scott, is he gonna be hot seat Malik or Malik Scott Torch? He wound up being Malik Scott Torch, but leading up to it, people were denying the facts of what's going on. They weren't being real about the record, the tutelage, the coaching. People weren't being sincere about the fact that that was his sparring partner, a soft touch. Nobody was doing that. So in hindsight, to look at the numbers and you hear about the pay-per-view sales and all this or whatever, YouTubers were promoting that. YouTubers had all the personal videos. YouTubers were the one pushing and pumping and praising. And he catered all his attention to them, with the exception of Brian Custer. He catered all his attention to them. He put all of the publicity, the ones who say that they, because they're going to say that they built him. They're going to say that they have claim to him. He's theirs. He's YouTuber. He belonged to that community. He's family. But when those numbers came out, everybody like, oh man, now why they want to bring out the numbers now? Like moving the goalposts. But in hindsight, people were saying, oh, and I was the only one saying, oh man, they about to skip over Andy Ruiz. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do a video about every time I was saying that and calling these things out, man. I was saying, oh, they about to skip over Andy Ruiz, man. Andy Ruiz bounced back from his loss to Anthony Joshua. He had the areola. Then he did King Kong, and it was built. I thought they had a handshake. After the fight, after the Hellenius fight, it was like, oh man, why fight Ruiz? I want Usyk. I want Fury 4. I'm like, damn, are we working on a Fury 9? This is gonna be like the Fast and the Furious, where it's like, man, it's just gonna be the same thing. They were skipping over, so now all of a sudden, and they were saying they didn't want no AJ either. Oh nah, why the fuck? No, man. See, listen, man, they blame that on Eddie. Now all of a sudden, after these numbers and all that, yeah, man, we want to fight Andy Ruiz. I'm like, man, people change like the wind. I don't get it. I know this is what they call it, a niche sport. It's a niche sport, but I don't get it. I don't get how you could just change like that. People claim who they always claiming that they consistent. They do this, they do that every way, all the time like this. Then they don't, because depending on the fighter, they change like the wind. The standard, they change. I was seeing all along people was trolling, people been trolling Paulie Malignaggi for his back and forth with Devin, which is all, I mean, that's what it always is. It's always some kind of clout. It's always some kind of something that you attach your name to, and you make these bold, brash statements, and then later on you say, oh man, I was young and I was this. It's like, but in the moment though, everybody let it rock. Everybody let it ride. I see people play musical chairs too. People play musical chairs because I remember before it was like, why would I fight Loma? And after this, I ain't moving up. And I'm not waiting around for nobody. And this and this and this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow. Well, that was how you got your belts. And he went and got the belts. He did what he needed to do. But now I think seeing Loma in the state that he was, seeing Loma in that state, man, really did something for him, man. Man, that really did something for him. So now, man, the heat is on, and now they about to get it on. More and more news coming out about Bud. Bud's coming out saying, you know, he's coming out now, man. I hear more about Spence right now than I did when they were actually in negotiations. If you can call those negotiations according to what Bud is saying. According to what Bud is saying. It didn't seem like those ideal negotiations to me. There's rumblings that Keith and Earl gonna get it on. I know one thing, man. If that fight do go down, we're gonna really see if Keith Thurman really want to fight anymore. We're going to really see if there's any fight left in that dog. Because I think since it's been mandated, and Earl was on record as saying he would never, and when I say never, I mean February. That's happening on February the 29th. If that fight actually happened, I think I think I got Earl Spence like really trying to beat the stuffing out of Keith Thurman, which is easier said than done. Easier said than done. It's just I question the fact that, you know, none of this, it all could have been in the right play if Keith Thurman would have never underestimated Manny Pacquiao. If he would have never took that opportunity for granted, we wouldn't be going through any of this. And I hate to blame Keith on it, but that's where I see where it went wrong. Boxing was trying to make itself right. Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao fought. Going into it, he was calling them alligator arms or crocodile arms or whatever he was calling them, T-Rex arms. You know, Manny Pacquiao caught him going straight back with a body shot, dropped him, made him spit out his mouthpiece. And then when you see what Ugas did to Manny Pacquiao, it make me question, Keith. This was supposed to be post-injury, back, you healed up, you rested, you had time to think. You know, it was all of that, and fumbled against Manny Pacquiao. That was the thing that started this series of unfortunate events. That's where it was. That's where, if I'm troubleshooting and I'm following the diagram, that's where all this shit went wrong. If you want to be honest. Here we are with Bud fans are just stuck in neutral. I've never seen so much co-signing of some bullshit. I mean, I've seen somebody arguing back and forth about Bud and the statements that he just did with Ak and Barack. When? The last time we seen the prolific interview with Ak and Barack, he was asked, even if he was offered this fight and it was 50-50, would you take it? He said, I don't even know if I would take it then. He's been telling you. That's what I don't understand, man. That's a real conversation to be had. How come when Bud keep telling us who he is, nobody wants to believe him? Why nobody want to believe him? They say when somebody show you who they are the first time, believe them. Why we don't want to believe Bud? Why we don't want to believe what he said? Because he said on that show, and the statement that I killed everybody with, is back a year ago, November 2021. Bud said if that fight don't happen between him and Spence, would his legacy take a hit? No. But with the rest of the welterweights, maybe. But look at what we getting here. All them fight dates got pushed back. You can't tell me that none of that is relevant. You can't tell me that none of them fight dates are relevant. Like the relevancy of all these timelines, and people started going into December, late December, and then things were starting to be announced for January and February. Because if you think about it, Mel Charlo had already announced his day way back when. So he was thinking, okay, that's after everybody, got whatever they got off, and then he was going to be one of the ones that was going to kick off the new year, defending his undisputed against Tim Tszyu. And I don't even really be wanting to get into all the negotiation and all that. I'm just saying, look, if you just go by the words out of Bud's mouth, if you just go out all the words, like when he said, when it came down to him making weight and all that, he said he'd go 2 days without eating. If he was lying, then he was lying. But those are the words that came out of his mouth in regards to how he made weight. He was telling you who he was, but then people was calling Spence a weight book. Because he came in at what, 153, 152, one of them, 152, 153, 154, one of them. He came in there first and then went to 437. They were saying he was a weight bully. I'm like, this is strange boxing world we living in. It's a twilight zone of a boxing world we living in. So we got people arguing with me about T.O. and the competition he's facing right now. I'm like, man, if you lose all your belts and you move up in weight, you the fresh fish on the line, who are you supposed to fight? And some of the names that was coming up, like Montana Love got to fight. And he's on the zone. That's why people just throw out business. That's why I say, man, sometimes it's just like people, you can tell people just want to argue because they'll throw out a very pertinent business aspect of things just to keep stabbing you with their point, that same point. I just been telling motherfuckers, hey, have a nice day, man. Obviously, you need some attention. I ain't got it for you. This week has been a lot of people. I just been commenting and liking, and look, I'm a fan of boxing, and I have boxers that I especially fuck with. But overall, I always say this all the time: no one boxer is big of the sum of all the moving parts. Meaning that no one boxer is bigger than the boxing game. So I might have a favorite, or I might have a guy that I favor in a fight, but I'm not solely dedicated to just praising and worshiping that one boxer. It don't work like that. If you're in my boxers to watch collection, I rock with you. You displayed a skill, a talent, an ability. You had a level of success. I rock with you. And it's still something that I haven't even put in there yet, but they're in there. I just haven't made the videos yet. But for anybody to come to me and say I'm a fanboy, I'll be D-riding a certain fight and this and this and this, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Just because I don't agree with everything you say about a particular fighter, and I'm not going to ignore facts, because people love to revise his story. Revise his story. Revisionist historian. It's a lot of them out here, man. People acting like stuff didn't happen. People still watching fights and telling you all about fights and commenting on fights, and they haven't even seen the real fights. They just seen highlights. Boxing is, in many aspects, it's becoming like wrestling. The women actually give us promise. The things in the movies that Eddie been making here lately, it's been promising. To see all of them faces on that card, to see all those levels of competition, to be able to, see. And I think that thing starts tomorrow at 5:30. We got the jaw jacket between Montana Love and Sparks, but Richardson Hitchens, Africa, is coming for love. He's like, I'm on your bumper. And what's so funny is Sparks and Hitchens say that Montana Love is chinny. And Montana Love was talking his noise like, hey man, look, y'all getting too disrespectful. He told Richardson Hitchens to build himself up, work his way up or something, he said. And Africa, he's letting it be known that he wants that love. He's telling Eddie, give me some love. That's what he's telling Eddie. He's telling Eddie, give me some love, man. take a local break. Let's see.
Welcome to BodyWork.
Please fasten your seatbelts.
I had 11 Olympians and over 800 national champs. And all those men, they wouldn't do half the work that she do. And I'm seeing it from the young ladies. These last 2 years, when you think about it, all the good fights is coming from the women. The guys is ducking each other, looking for the easy way. Hey. I'm telling you like it is, you know? So again, you know, this young lady done did everything I asked of, and she did more. And I'm watching all the young ladies that's boxing now. It's like they trying to prove they better than men. Now, we knew they was kind of there, but now they showing that they mean. You know, in old days in Philly, we call these guys crazy. And that's the way these women are. So when you go back home, speak nice to you.
Welcome to BodyWork.
Yeah, so I'm back, but man, the state of boxing, man, it's kind of weird. It's a weird place, man. It's a lot of things to be excited about, though. It's a lot of things to be excited about. It's just all in what you focus on, man. But I think people got drunk off the idea of seeing one of the biggest fight that can be made in boxing right now. I think a lot of people got drunk off of it, and when it didn't happen, I think we all have a hangover. You know. Everybody wants to point fingers as to why, and everybody refused to really let it go. They don't want to let it go. So what happened is we perpetually talk about it and everything that happens, and we keep the attention on that when it's like teasing yourself, because that fight may never happen. I'm a realist at the end of the day, and I can admit I've been thought that fight might never happen. A year ago, I knew that fight might not happen a year ago. If you don't believe me, go back and look at the video or videos. About a year ago. Well, look at what I was saying about this about a year ago. I think people, they really fail to come to terms that the best name on Bud's resume is Sean Porter. And he was damn near forced into that fight. Damn near forced. I mean, it was under the guise that we were friends and this and this and that. And I've never seen them be as friendly as after the fight. That's what make it all look fishy. I mean, people was like, dang, y'all that tight. Like beforehand, they was like, people was like, dang, y'all that tight. I even seen people commenting and saying, well, dang, Sean Porter wasn't even at the man wedding or whatever, because the way they was making it seem like that they was all tight. And so I'm like, man, I don't get into all of the, you know, all those kind of things, you know, that aspect of things, because I can't confirm any of it. But I'm like, okay, so they weren't, I've never seen them that tight. I'm going by what I see in videos, Sean Porter's podcast. I never seen them be so chummy. But Bud was actually forced into that fight. That fight was in the 11th hour. It was 1:45 and they snatched that thing up out of purse bridge. They snatched it out of purse bid, and they said, okay, we'll do it. But that fight, Bud was actually forced into that fight. I don't think that really registered with anybody. Who did that register with? He never wanted to fight Ugas. Made excuses for Danny. Made excuses for Thurman. But he fought, instead of fighting Danny, he fought Khan. He fought Kell Brook without his trainer, with no real backing other than a signed contract to fight. After fighting in a weight class above where he campaigned at when he was in his prime. To come back to fight Bud. And much respect to Kell, but it wasn't the same Kell Brook. You saw glimpses of it with that jab, and you know, but it was time and wear and tear, and you know, that was after the Triple G. That was after Errol Spence. That was after Sean Porter. That was after all them guys. People don't really look at it like that. He never said boots. Never said boots. People want to look past all of that. And I don't, if you want to stay on that side and say I'm down for whatever, because you need some ride or dies. I'm not, okay, every boxer probably got some ride or dies, okay? But even if you're a ride or die, you gotta be real at some point in time. I got a couple boxers that I'm ride or die for, but I'm not going to ignore certain things about them. I'm not going to act like this wasn't an awkward move or that wasn't an awkward move, or I understand and I reason, I rationalize. See, that's when you really become a fan or a fanatic of a boxer, that's when you really start doing stuff like that, where you actually start rationalizing, you start conforming everything that happens pertaining to your boxer to make sense in your mind. Because that's your boxer. But in reality, man, when people pull your coattail and you know, they let you know, like somebody pull you to the side, like, hey man, you got boogie in your nose. You could be offended. Like my boy in high school, he was offended like that. I said, hey man, you got a good green man, you know. He got offended at me. I was like, okay, well shit. Next time, I'm like everybody else, I'm gonna let you walk around with that boogie in your nose. But see, why is the guy that always pull you to the side and like, hey man, you know, why are they not looking at and appreciate it for saying, hey man, you know, that ain't rock. I rock with you. I'm pulling your coattail, I'm putting you on, I'm telling you got a boogie in your nose so you can clean it up. Nobody wants to do that. You can still be a fan of a boxing and be able to do that. But what it tells me is that these people don't, like, it's all about a bag now. An instant bag. An instant bag. That's all it's about now. People excuse it because, oh man, you, like he said, like Bud said out of his mouth, because let's not talk about what the other people said for a second. Let's just say again the things that come out of Bud's mouth. This man said, "You crazy in your head? You think I'm gonna turn down this 10 like that? What kind of do that sound like?" Man, I know we talking about. It sounds like monopoly money to somebody like myself because I don't make that kind of money. But since he talked about money, what do that sound like? I'm not gonna say desperation. That just sounds like I need cash now. Like I want it now. Like I'm, like you got longevity. You got all your faculties. Your talent is still perceived as some of the best pure talent, God-given abilities to lace up a pair of gloves. You still active. And people keep harping on age, but people ain't talking all that age. The people saying, people be trying to talk that age stuff with Baturviev and Bilbo and all that, but don't nobody talk about that age. The women don't even be talking about it. There's women that's 38, 39. You don't never hear nobody talk about how old they are as it relates to actually fighting. Never. Why are we hearing all this ancillary, all these distracting tactics and all these long excuses because you want to just excuse away standards? And see, this is the slippery slope, because when you approve all this, but then you quick to come down on somebody else, one of these other boxers, because they don't move or do whatever you say or want them to do when you want them to do it, you look hypocritical. We got a whole league of people excusing away a potential fight between Cruz and Shakur. And I'm like, how? You got people who actually get offended when I say, man, with name, Shakur didn't fight Gary at 26 and he didn't fight O'Shaquie at 30. They say, who was O'Shaquie? And oh man, you gonna bring up Gary Russell? I'm like, these are at the time, these guys were the best guys in the division. But then somebody like Cruz, you argue it away. I'm like, what kind of fan? Y'all fans of winning, of the winners. And if they fight often enough, you can still ride them little waves of them actually fighting frequently and winning. But you're not boxing fans thinking like that. You're not boxing fans. We really don't. We don't look for ways to excuse away fights. We rationalize as to some of the things that might have went into it, but we don't look to justify and rationalize why fights haven't made. We don't go get law degrees to defend all that. We can understand, on across the street as far as like a Floyd not doing business with a Bob. If you know that, it would stop a lot of the conversation as far as what would need to happen. Then, if you knew that, then okay. Once you hear that they actually sat down and talked, or they ironed something out, or it was a number that could have happened that was just bigger than anybody could refuse, then you could say that. But like, people want to harp all day about why certain fights don't happen that involve Floyd and Bob Arum, and they argue about it all the time. I'm like, what are y'all arguing about? What are y'all arguing about? And then they separate They separate Floyd, they separate TMT from PPC sometimes, but then they include them other times. Based on the argument. We got Floyd fighting more than Tank. Floyd fighting more than Tank. But then his fans, we really don't get no. If you could be a fan of both. You could be a fan of Floyd and you could be a fan of Tank. But we really don't get no real explanation. We just, everything is close and tight to the vest, and then next thing you know, a month go by, 2 months go by, 3 months go by, and we don't know anything. And I can't help but think that that's by design. I can't help but think that that's by design. It has to be. Like, you have one of the largest audience at your beck and call. You can communicate in several different ways. This is the technology era. A 2-minute video will go a long way, letting people know what's good, letting people know what's up. It's a quick little, you know what I'm saying, let us know, you know what I'm saying, but we don't know. But we got to sit online and argue with people all day about that shit that they can't justify and we can't really refute. And depending on whose channel it is or what's going on or what, you know, the subject matter is, people gonna pretty much let that shit rock out. Salute to Aaron Jones. Salute to Aaron Jones. Salute, bro. I ain't seen you, man. I ain't seen you in a minute, homie. Hope all is well, man. I know you've been busy working and all that. I know you got some strong opinions. You got some strong opinions, Aaron Jones. That's good, man. That's good. That's good. That's good, man. I'm glad to hear you still on top, man. Every day on this side of the soil, you know what I'm saying, is a great day. You know, we can't forget that, man. I was just sitting here talking about how we don't really get no real news, man. We don't really get no real news. So I'll hop on, brother, give me a minute. Okay. Cool. But yeah, man, I don't know, it's a weird time, man, right now in boxing, man. It's like, it depends on, you know, it depends on your mindset. It depends on what you got. It depends on what you got going on. You know, how you see boxing right now. If you got a hangover from the biggest fight in welterweight not happening, then you're gonna be looking at things in a weird way. If you're wondering, you know, who Tank gonna fight next, you're looking at things in a weird way. If you're looking at this card that's going on tomorrow, you're excited and happy because shit, we get to see some fights. We get to see some storylines be built. We get to see history being made with that young lady getting ready to fight 6 3-minute round fights coming out the gate. Beatrice, I think she's a Brazilian gold medalist, 2-time gold medalist, making her pro debut. Eddie's pumping her up. Richard Hitchens, Africa. He gonna do his thing against Alamo. You got that guy, what's his name, Rodriguez. He's gonna fight. He was talking real strong, like he had like he been in there with a whole bunch of people of name, and then he got skills. He talked that good game. He got me wanting to see what he do. I mean, his opponent looked ripped. His opponent looked like a beast. Now I don't know. Sometimes when you're more muscular, you don't miss certain things. You gas out or you tire out, so you gotta have that perfect balance. Not too much muscle, but not all flabby and sick. We do body work, so you gotta be prepared for that body work, man. If you got a soft midsection, you might find yourself like Banana Rosario, who got retired last week. That man got hit to the body, man. I thought his inside was about to explode, boy. So it's a lit card tomorrow. So if you're thinking about that card tomorrow, you thinking, cause me, I find it odd that Sparks and Africa think that Montana Love is chinny. I'm like, man, but dude got some power. He do got some power. I was seeing some sparring footage, a minute ago with Tank and Montana Love. That's what it was said it was. But it's been a minute. It was a minute ago, but he's headlining his own card out there in Ohio. Ohio has a rich history in boxing. There's a lot of young black brothers out there, doing their thing on that card. You got Raymond Ford. They said he's really tough to be matched up in that fight. You'll see, but he's sharp, man. Ray Ford, I like Ford, man. I like Ford. I just hope he, as long as he just need to stay poised and work his magic. He gonna be all right. He work that jab. You know what I'm saying? When everything, sometimes things break down. Work your jab. Record some data. Make your adjustment. And go to work, young man. Go to work. Go to work, young man. Go to work. I'm kind of excited about it. He's fighting a veteran in the game, sturdy guy. Feel like he got the height advantage. They keep talking about this guy's power. I don't know why, look-wise, he remind me of Nakatilla. But I think it's gonna be good. A good day tomorrow. If you're wondering about Keith Thurman like I am, then will he get Earl? Are they gonna fight? When will we know? I need concrete evidence, man. As fans, man, do we got a right to be able to start? Can we at least start seeing the signature lines? You ain't gotta show us nothing else in the contract, but can we at least see those signature lines, man, with both of them John Hancocks, for lack of a better reference, on them, so we can know that these fights are getting done. Because now, man, whoever put that he say, she say out there the best, man, is winning. For the public perspective. Whoever can put out that he say, she say the best in the court of public opinion, they win it. I'm like, man, depends on what angle you're looking at boxing right now is going to determine where your mindset and how you feel about boxing. I always said you got to find new ways to fall back in love with boxing. Me as an Eagles fan, it would be really, really easy for me. It'd be really easy for me to say, you know what? Forget boxing for a little while. I'm on my football, but now I fell in love with boxing, and I find ways to keep myself in love with boxing. So, I try to find things to be happy and positive about. But man, I got a boxing hangover that I'm getting over. Yeah. So I got a lot of things, that I got brewing, man. I want to go ahead and start putting out these League of Shadows. But I guess it's timing. I always start putting something out or doing something at a specific time, and I know when it's right because I be really motivated to do it, and everything just lines up so perfectly to where it's like, why not? But that's one of the things I need to actually put out. I definitely got a couple more. I got like 3 more boxes, the watch collections that I gotta really like wrap up and put together. Some boxes, as I broaden my horizons, man, and I start looking at things from different perspectives, man. It's amazing how you can look at boxing. Like once you move away from like the American market and you start looking at these other markets and you start looking at boxing as a whole, like the big picture, man, it's nothing like boxing, man. Boxing is second to none, but it's a niche sport. It is a niche sport. Because that's like it's like this. If you can tell somebody, oh, I got a sports channel, but you tell somebody I got a boxing channel, they're not in boxing. It's just like they're not in. Or then they think, oh, well, you box. You box. I can box, but I don't box. So if you have a sports channel, it's like, oh, you do, like, I mean, it's just weird. But boxing is like that. People think you got to be boxing or whatever, or I don't know. It's just a sport, just like everything else. What's going on?
What's up, bro? It's Aaron, yo.
What's up, Aaron?
What's this Aaron Jones shit? What's up with you?
What's happening, man? What's on your mind, man? I know you don't really be rocking with Africa like that, man. You be having it bad for that man.
I mean, he cool. I ain't gonna lie. He cool. It's just that I think the shit with Gary Russell, that fight, man. I don't know. It's like he just couldn't keep his ass. Maybe it's just Gary Russell. That's what I'm thinking, but I feel like once he find like somebody, that's what I think. I think he was under the Mayweather protective program though. Like, to be honest.
Yeah.
Always canceling fights for him. No, I think he nice though.
What do you think it is, man? Like, how you feel? Because I know you big on Tank, man. I know. How you feel? But I don't know, man. Like, I'm reading from the tea leaves, man. I don't know what the world going on.
He ready to fight Ryan, man.
Is he gonna do it?
Man, listen. If we on the same page, like, you really can't listen to everybody, but from outside looking in. And this is just me, and this is just what I've been saying. Like, outside, like, the Wilder, Spence, and Tank, they always fight back to back. You never noticed that? They always fight. The PBC always try to put them back to back. Mm-hmm. Crawford fucked up everybody's shit, bro. He fucked
That's what I was saying.
He fucked the whole schedule up. They was ready to hit him in the head with the Deontay Wilder comeback. Spence whipped Terrence ass, and then Tank whipped Ryan ass. But Crawford fucked it all up, man. It was
but tell me this though, man. Tell me this. Is it just me, man? But just we don't talk, we don't rap. You know what I'm saying? I see you on here. You know what I'm saying? You see the videos. If I'm on live and you catch me, you be there, right? We don't rap. Right. If you got whatever time you got, run this Bud thing down from your perspective, because I don't want to talk. I just want to listen, because I'm sitting here listening to people, and I'm like, man, what world are we in? So just let me know what happened, like from your
The
perspective.
bullshit. Look again, like you said, we don't rap, we don't do none of that. This is just my perspective. I think it's like, I know fighters don't be scared to fight because they fought in amateurs and all that shit. I think he know Earl gonna win. They don't got no problem with no defeat. You feel me? I think Crawford just like, I don't know, he jealous or something. But Spence, he don't want him to have that. Come on now. When you got every legend in the game going for you, you got pound for pound, all this, that, and the third. Mm-hmm. And like, it's like you still something eat you up. It's Spence. It's like, and this is like why I always put Spence, Tank in the same category, because nobody wasn't really checking for them when they first came out. For you haven't noticed, they was going for like Crawfords, even on the Tank side, they was going. Everybody knew Devin Haney before they knew Tank, like way before they knew Tank. Since Devin was a baby and shit. So when you got these nobodies coming out of nowhere, oh, to them they nobodies, like Crawford, you know, they nobodies, because even
Lost you for a second,
yeah, my bad. That was somebody calling.
You good.
My bad. Crawford said Keith Thurman the big fight. Am I right? Am I wrong? He said that a while ago. So in that essence, I'm saying like, my fault, brother. My fault.
Well, this platform different, bro. This
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't the Breakfast Club and none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? This is what it is, bro. Shit happens, bro.
Nah, no bullshit. But yeah, basically, I think he know he gonna get beat, and that's obvious. He know he gonna get beat, so he trying to stall out the fight. He took all year to take a tune-up fight. That's just crazy to me. You waited. Spence, you could have fought in probably the summertime. You could have fought him. Nope, I don't think nobody would have said nothing if Crawford would have fought him like summertime or after Spence fought all guys. But it's just something telling me that he waited. He had that shit all the time, the whole time. Because even when he was, you know, first a free agent, where the big fish, that, you know, getting the dumb fans, the stupid retard. I mean, I don't know what to say, but you know, the retarded fans getting them. Even the so-called Spence fans. Oh, look at Crawford saying he looking for the big fish. I'm just sitting back, like, come on, and we from the DMV. We know real recognize real. We know when somebody just not like keeping it real. Like, you are like, they gotta stop looking at boxing as boxing and just look at us for who people is. Cause to me, Crawford saying like he like a spoiled brat or something.
It is. It's one of them ones. It's one of them things to where, you know, you because I look at it like this. Like you said, he pushed the schedule back. Right? Yeah. They had the schedule. If you look at it, they had the schedule kind of like bracketed up, bro. They had it bracketed because Jamel, if you go and you fast forward, Jamel said he was gonna fight. It was a bracket, so he was gonna be the big fight to kick off the. But everything in between there was going to line right up to where it was gonna be boom, boom, boom. Tank right at the end in December, like usual. You know what I'm saying?
Always do it.
December, you know what I'm saying? Then Wilder, Spence, you know, and it was, you know, it would have been lit. So to me, it says it's selfish. You know what I'm saying? That's like we had a problem. Growing up, you couldn't be like that. Growing up, I grew up in Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
You couldn't grow up like that. You take that ball home if you want to. You take that football home.
That's what he did.
Try that shit.
He take his ball home, man.
Oh,
So,
y'all ain't ready with me. I'm ready to go home. Take my ball home.
you know. So I don't know, man. I got a little hangover from that. But then I'm thinking, so what are you thinking? What are you thinking about Durham? Like, who is Spence gonna fight? Went out, but I'll hold it down. I'll hold it down for a second.
No, I'm back. I was ready to say, I don't know what happened.
I was saying who is Spence gonna fight?
Probably, that's crazy. Probably keep Thurman, probably. Most likely. Because from the sounds of it, Al want it's not that Al don't want the Crawford fight. He just like, yo, just get your money, yo. These outsiders playing games. And this the thing with Tank too. When is these networks, they keep saying when the black people want do this, that, and the third, when is y'all gonna put y'all best up against Tank or Spence? Like, y'all take the initiative. They gonna make the fight. Even if it's you heard Leonard Ellaby say they're not gonna make it unless they benefit off it, because most likely fucking with Spence, your eye gonna get took, and fucking with Tank, he gonna knock him out. They gotta find, that's why I fuck with Shakur. Like, I think he's starting to realize, like, man, what the fuck I got myself into? You feel me? I mean, they gave him the Valdez fight and all that, but that really ain't do nothing. That ain't do nothing for him. He need, like, promotion. He could be cool. Like, to me, Shakur could be better with, like, as far as, like, the Tank fan base, he could be better with that than Devin Haney, because Devin Haney, I think he a clown, to be honest. He around my age group, so I can say he a clown. And you feel me? It is what it is. Like, and then people, you know what's crazy? A lot of people know Devin Haney, they know Crawford. A lot of people, they be like, when is like at my job even, they be like, when is Spence going to fight Crawford, and knock him out, You know, it's like everybody know these fighters. It's just that they prefer the one they know with as far as like the eye test goes. Like, you like, as far as when casuals, I say casuals, like, you really don't gotta tell casuals like what Devin Haney's the best in the world. No, casuals just look at this fight and be like, oh yeah, I like this fight. Yeah. And it is what it is. You can't get mad because, and this is Crawford and Devin Haney, they two in the same. Y'all can't get mad that people like Tank and Spence, and they been liking them, because, you know, I'm from Baltimore. Yeah. Tank been like that, like, as far as like popularity, since the amateurs. He used to fight up Coppin State. I ain't know go to none of the amateur fights, but I heard about Tank. And this was YouTube wasn't even, you feel me? But he had highlights on YouTube. I used to go at school, niggas would look up and like, y'all heard of Tank? That's how I heard about it. That's how I came into boxing, because of Tank. They can't get mad about this stuff. So, man, it's just a lot of.
You know what's crazy is I stepped away from boxing. I stepped away. I was watching it, but I wasn't as hardcore. Like back when Tyson, I think that one fight when Tyson lost, I used to have fight parties. I used to be all into it. I stepped away because I thought boxing was going in a bad place, right? And it was Tank and Spence that brought me back. They brought me back. You know what I'm saying? They brought me back. I was like, they gave me hope. I saw them, man. I saw them, and I started watching and following. I was like, man, they gave me hope, and that's why I came back.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, everything from like a you could say a casual thing. Because at first he from Baltimore, and you feel me? I like to see
we from Baltimore. We like to see people make it. You feel me? Like even though it's like bring each other down, but at the same time, we support like our rappers, football, basketball. It don't matter.
Yeah.
We support them. So I used to be watching them. So I just started venturing off. Like, oh, guess who the next one that came up? Earl Spence. Like, I ain't hear about Crawford. I ain't hear about none of them because they wasn't being promoted. Like Bob and them or anybody other than the PVC don't know how to promote black fighters. It is what it is.
It seemed like Top Rank is trying now. After that statement came out, they trying. You know, they got a big stable, man. They got a big stable, but
for all young black, all the young black talent.
Yeah. But I mean, to me, I'm tired of arguing with Bud fans. You know what I'm saying? I'm Bud only fan. I call them only fans.
Yeah.
You know, I'm tired of going back and forth with the OnlyFans because I'm like, in real life, y'all don't stand on that. And my whole thing is right now, it's like everybody want that immediate bag. Like I've never heard so many people excuse this the way they say, "Oh man, $10 million right now, you crazy?" I'm like, man, bro, you got options. It's not like you didn't have time, and this is the biggest fight. And when I look at all the other undisputed, who actually gave them this kind of run for it? Who done waited to where somebody else had 3 of them things and then they want to take their one and then show their ass? Like, who's done that? Like, in recent history, we can't look at nobody and say they done that. Caleb Plant didn't do that.
Nope.
Devin Haney was running for that last little, you know what I'm saying, that little strap he had, like, that had to go down because it just had to be completed. You know what I'm saying? But we know what happened with all that. Like, it wasn't when Lomachenko and T.O. was there, it wasn't they was trying to make that shit happen and consolidate all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, none of these guys, like, all these like, you see the ladies just went undisputed. Carissa did it 3 times. Like this, and when let me see, there's so many different cases, man. Nobody gave Ginger a hard time getting none of the belts. I'm like, who gave Bud a hard time when he got his at 40? Nobody. People were stepping aside and conforming and taking whatever and coming on in and signing. And when we excuse this away because he got a quick $10 million bag from a company that nobody can verify or justify. I mean, I don't really like talking about the numbers. I say you never talk about another man's numbers. Everybody else is talking about it, but I'm like, okay, at the end of the day, this was the biggest fight of your life. You win this, it could have been a trilogy. It could have been, you know what I'm saying, at least a run back or something. But you can't excuse that away from some fly-by-night companies, and we seen what happened with these fly-by-night companies who come in thinking, oh, I got all this money. This shit don't work. So I'm frustrated, man. I'm like, I can't even talk to some of these people. It's like talking to a damn brick wall, man. But that's all they want to talk about. You real low. I think you real low, though. I can't hear you, bro. You real low.
I'm good now.
Yeah, you good now.
Yeah, it's like he trying to strong arm the black people, man. That's what's like tripping me out about the whole situation. Like, it's like, why are you trying to do all that with them, man? When you was under Top Rank, Bob, every video, there wasn't a video that came out he wasn't talking shit. And it ain't like he was sugarcoating none of it. He was just telling like how it is. Like, man, you don't sell. I'm not. To me, this is what it was saying to me. Like, how you gonna make the Spence Crawford fight, which I think he was gonna make. Come on now, he was gonna make that. Why wouldn't he make that when he know that he can make the money off the fight? But you on your side not doing your part. He trying to even like he trying to like even when he fought Porter, or was it Porter? No, it was American. He was like, yeah, Spence and none of them not gonna fight him. To me, that's just him trying to say like, yeah, I can't even make this shit right now, but I wanted to. Yeah, like it's like, damn, like what I'm gonna get off it? He not doing nothing. Why would they make Tyson Fury versus Wilder, but not make Spence versus Crawford, or not make fucking like even with the shit with Tank, like he not, but I'm not putting none of them in there with Tank because he not gonna get nothing off it right now. Like, and that's their side. That's not PBC side because I think they ready let Tank loose. To be honest, well they did let him loose. They gonna let him loose because ain't no way. It's like they here to stay. They not going nowhere. PBC, Al Hamm and all them, they not going nowhere. They connected to all the big fights. No, y'all not getting no money unless. And this is not me in nobody's pockets. I'm just saying, y'all not getting no money unless you fight. Even Canelo, you not getting no money unless you fight Jamal. Like straight up, because everybody want to see that fight. Or Benavidez.
Yeah.
Y'all not getting no. They try to fish and find a way around it. Even with Tio, with Devin may talk like it, but he found his way around it. Crawford found his way around it. They trying to get around them to get to the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I can't. Oh man.
See, and that's it be driving me nuts because people be acting like I didn't sit there and live through this shit and watch it, like, you know, because look, they getting on Paulie right now. They getting on Paulie right now only because he Italian. But I'm like, man, outside of that, I comment on it. I say, man, if you close your eyes and you don't see who's actually saying that, tell me where this person is lying. And nobody can do it.
Nobody.
They want to stay on the race card.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They race bait, and I'm just learning that term. But black people can race bait, and I never knew that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think we do that, right? That's what be driving me nuts. We do it all the time. I'm like, how can we get on them and say something about them when you on film calling your brothers and sisters monkeys and shit, and cursing people out and roid raging and shit on your people, and then you got the nerve to point somebody else out about racism.
Making fun of Leonard Edenby Knowles. Keep making fun of that man. Whole time he got more money than all of them. For that big nose.
But do your thing, man. You out and about?
Man, no, I'm not really. I just came to chop it up with you.
I appreciate it, man. Glad to hear you
doing
bro. Good. Bro, have a good evening. Be safe out here, man.
You too, bro.
All right, man.
All right.
Peace. Yeah, that's my man Aaron Jones, man. He's like one of my he probably is my biggest supporter, man. And he done watched me grow, man. He done watched the channel progress, you know, from where I could barely do graphics to where it is now, and doing the lives and all the weird backgrounds in the beginning, and you know, stuff not lining up, and I'm still making mistakes, but he's still rocking with me, man. He always give his opinion though. He always keep it 100. Those are the kind of people, man, that resonate with the channel, man. They few and far in between, man. People who they're not gonna sugarcoat nothing. They see everything for what it is. They show a level of comprehension to be able to understand and use logic. You know what I'm saying? And they're not scared to talk about it or speak on it. A lot of people can't do that these days, you know. But once again, man, I've been on here for an hour and 15 minutes. I thought somebody gonna come in and give me that smoke, man. But people be going back and forth with me in the comment section all the time. They ain't be coming up on other channels. And when I go looking for the smoke, it's nothing to be found. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Here at BodyWork Boxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work.